In a twist nobody saw coming, the royal couple of music Beyoncé and Jay Z are facing one of the most humiliating scandals of their careers. And this time, it has nothing to do with cheating rumors or business beef. No, this is deeper. This is about family secrets and a betrayal so explosive that even their most loyal fans are questioning everything they thought they knew. It all started when controversial blogger Tasha K. Tasha K dropped a bombshell on her live stream that shook the entire Beyhive and Rock Nation fandom to the core. With her trademark fire and zero-filter delivery, she claimed that industry insider Jason Lee was allegedly paid off by Jay Z himself to keep quiet about something involving Beyoncé and the couple's kids. And not just any secret, a revelation that, if exposed, could reportedly destroy the Carter legacy overnight. Now, the internet is in meltdown mode. Did Beyoncé and Jay Z really try to silence Jason Lee? What are they hiding about their children? And why is Tasha K willing to risk everything to expose it? Emotions are running high, the family is said to be in turmoil, and fans are demanding answers. The world of music royalty was thrown into chaos one October evening when Tasha K, the most polarizing voice in celebrity gossip, went live on Instagram and dropped a revelation that made the internet stop in its tracks. The headline alone was enough to make jaws drop. Jason Lee was paid to stay silent about Beyoncé and Jay Z's kids, and I have the receipts. The Beyhive swarmed instantly. Hashtags started trending within minutes, and the Carter empire, the untouchable dynasty built on power, perfection, and privacy, suddenly looked more vulnerable than ever. This isn't just gossip, Tasha began, her tone sharper than usual as thousands flooded into the live. This is about money, manipulation, and the lengths people will go to keep their image spotless. Beyoncé and Jay Z paid Jason Lee to stay quiet. And I'm gonna tell you why. For years, Jason Lee, media mogul and founder of Hollywood Unlocked, had been close to the Carters. He attended Rock Nation events, praised Beyoncé's artistry publicly, and maintained what many believed was a mutually beneficial relationship with the royal couple. But Tasha claimed there was a darker layer behind that polished relationship. According to her, Jason wasn't just a friend, he was a liability they had to control. Jason knows something about those kids that was never meant to get out, Tasha declared dramatically. I'm talking about information that could destroy the Carter brand overnight, and instead of risking it, they paid him off. Millions. The comment section exploded. WHAD kids. One fan wrote, "Is she talking about Blue Ivy?" Asked another. Not Beyoncé hiding babies. But Tasha wasn't done. She hinted that the alleged secret had to do with how at least one of Beyoncé and Jay Z's children came into the world, and that Jason Lee had been sitting on the truth for years. Let me put it like this, Tasha continued, leaning closer to the camera. If the public ever saw the real documents, they'd realize that the story Beyoncé told about motherhood was not the whole truth. And Jason? He's got the proof. Behind the scenes, panic reportedly erupted in the Carter household. Beyoncé, known for controlling every aspect of her public image with surgical precision, was said to be furious. Jay Z, ever the strategist, allegedly spent the night on calls with lawyers and PR teams, trying to contain the fire before it became an inferno. According to a source close to the family, Beyoncé broke down in tears as the live stream went viral. She kept saying, "This isn't happening. Not again. Not now," the insider revealed. Beyoncé has always feared someone would weaponize that chapter of her life, and now Tasha K just threw gasoline on the flames. Meanwhile, Jason Lee, usually vocal and quick to clap, back online, went completely silent. No tweets, no Instagram posts, no statements, just radio silence. And to many fans, that silence spoke volumes. If this wasn't true, Jason would have been live by now laughing it off, one fan tweeted. The fact that he's saying nothing is suspicious. Others turned their attention to Beyoncé and Jay Z. Memes and theories flooded social media, some absurd and others chillingly plausible. Was there a secret child the public didn't know about? Was one of the kids not biologically Beyoncé's? Had there been a surrogacy arrangement hidden from the world to maintain the illusion of a perfect pregnancy? The speculation spiraled out of control. One particularly viral thread claimed that Jason Lee had been given a seven-figure payout in 2020, just months after hinting on his show about a major celebrity baby scandal he had uncovered. At the time, many thought he was referring to another Hollywood couple. Now, in hindsight, fans were convinced he had been talking about the Carters and was silenced before he could say more. Inside Rock Nation headquarters, the mood was grim. A private meeting was called the morning after Tasha's live stream. Beyoncé, Jay Z, and their closest advisors sat around a long mahogany table, tension so thick it felt suffocating. "Why now?" Beyoncé asked quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why is she doing this now?" Jay Z exhaled heavily, running a hand over his face. "Because it's Tasha. She smells blood, and she's gonna milk this for every click she can get. We knew this could happen. We paid Jason." One of the PR executives interjected nervously. "We made sure he was locked down legally and financially. If he talks, he's breaching a contract." Beyoncé slammed her hand on the table. "I don't care about contracts. If he opens his mouth, everything we've built, everything is at risk." The room fell silent. Jay Z leaned forward, his tone colder now. "We need to get ahead of this. Damage control. If Jason's gonna break, we make him the villain before he makes us the story." But there was another problem. Tasha wasn't backing down. She doubled down the next day, posting a cryptic tweet. "If I go missing, just know Jason Lee and the Carters did it. Hashtag the truth will out. That tweet alone racked up over 1 million views in hours. Major blogs and gossip pages picked up the story. YouTubers began dissecting every word of Tasha's live stream, analyzing old photos and interviews of Beyoncé for clues about the alleged secret. And then came the twist nobody expected. Jason Lee was spotted leaving a law firm in Beverly Hills. TMZ cameras caught him looking tense, refusing to answer questions. When one reporter shouted, "Jason, did Beyoncé and Jay Z pay you off?" Jason paused, smirked slightly, and got into his car without a word. That smirk went viral. To many, it wasn't the face of a man denying accusations, it was the face of someone who knew something. The Bayhive, usually fiercely protective of their queen, was now split. Some defended Beyoncé with their usual loyalty. "She doesn't owe anyone her medical history," one fan tweeted. "Even if there was a surrogate, so what?" But others were more skeptical. "If this is true, it means they built their whole family image on a lie," wrote another. "We deserve answers." And perhaps the most damaging blow came from someone who had once been close to the Carters. An anonymous former staffer spoke exclusively to a tabloid and claimed that there had been strict orders in the household about discussing Beyoncé's pregnancies. Everyone was told never to mention anything about the kids that wasn't in the press release, the source alleged. "If you slipped up, you were gone. No questions asked." By the end of the week, what had started as a single live stream had turned into a full-blown media circus. Tasha K teased that she wasn't done yet, that she had more receipts coming, and that Jason Lee's silence wouldn't last forever. And somewhere inside their sprawling Bel Air mansion, Beyoncé and Jay Z were preparing for a battle unlike anything they'd faced before. This wasn't about album sales or Grammy snubs. This was about their family, their legacy, and the empire they had spent decades building. And for the first time, it looked like that empire might be cracking. Just when fans thought the situation couldn't spiral any further, Jason Lee finally broke his silence, and it sent the internet into meltdown all over again. After nearly a week of cryptic tweets, paparazzi photos, and mounting pressure, Jason announced he'd be going live on Hollywood Unlocked to set the record straight. And from the second he pressed go live, the tone was different. He wasn't laughing. He wasn't brushing it off. He looked serious, even a little shaken. "I wasn't gonna talk about this," Jason began, his voice calm but heavy. "But since people want to put my name in their mouths and act like I'm some kind of pawn, let's clear some things up." Over 300,000 people tuned in within the first 5 minutes. The Bayhive swarmed the chat, demanding answers. Tasha K herself joined under a burner account, dropping fiery comments that stirred the pot even more. And then Jason dropped the line that made everyone's blood run cold. "Let's just say, there's more to the Carter family story than the public knows. And I was approached to make sure certain information never saw the light of day." The comments exploded. "He said it. This confirms Tasha. What are they hiding?" Jason refused to name figures or details, but heavily implied that a financial agreement had taken place. "I'm not gonna lie to you, I got paid," he admitted. Not to lie, not to make anything up, just not to say certain things. And honestly, at the time, it felt like the right move. But now, I don't know. The room fell into stunned silence. Jason had just confirmed the very heart of Tasha K's claims that Beyoncé and Jay Z had allegedly paid him off. And though he didn't spill the full story, His tone suggested the secret he was sitting on was massive. Back in Bel Air, the Carters were watching the live stream unfold in real time. A source close to the family described the scene as chaotic and emotional. Beyoncé, usually calm under pressure, reportedly broke down halfway through Jason's broadcast. She just kept repeating, "It's over. He's going to ruin us," the insider shared. Jay tried to reassure her, but even he looked rattled. This wasn't part of the plan. Jay Z immediately got their legal team on the phone. The family's longtime attorney, known for handling crises behind closed doors, was blunt. "We need to act now. If Jason is breaching any agreements, we file today." But Beyoncé wasn't thinking about lawsuits. She was thinking about legacy, about the empire they had built brick by brick being dismantled in front of millions. "They're going to talk about me like I'm a liar," she whispered, her voice breaking. "They're going to talk about my children." Meanwhile, Jason continued speaking, and every word added fuel to the fire. "I've been in this business a long time," he said, leaning closer to the camera. "I've seen people do a lot worse to protect their image. But this shook me, because it wasn't about music. It wasn't about money. It was about family. And I started asking myself, if the truth isn't that bad, why go to such extreme lengths to hide it?" The internet went feral. Overnight, a dozen theories exploded across Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. One thread claimed Beyoncé had a secret child years before she married Jay Z and that Jason had proof. Another swore Blue Ivy was born via surrogate, something Beyoncé had always denied. Some even speculated about a custody arrangement gone wrong. And then came the most viral theory of them all, that one of the Carter children might not be Jay Z's biological child, a theory so explosive it was trending worldwide within hours. Tasha K fanned the flames with a sly post of her own. "Told y'all it was deeper than music. #CarterFiles." The comments sent fans spiraling even further. Inside Rock Nation, the crisis team was on high alert. Emails flew back and forth. Meetings ran into the early morning. A leaked memo from the Carter PR team read like a war plan: reframe narrative, emphasize privacy, threaten legal action, secure allies in media. One of those allies was a prominent morning show host who agreed to gently address the situation and remind viewers of Beyoncé's philanthropic work and family values. But the attempt at damage control backfired. Fans flooded the show's comments, calling it paid propaganda and damage spin. The cracks in the Carter empire were widening. Even celebrity friends were being dragged into the drama. Rihanna unfollowed Jason Lee on Instagram. Kelly Rowland liked then quickly unliked a post defending Beyoncé. And Kim Kardashian, never one to miss a media moment, posted a cryptic quote: "The truth always surfaces." But the most shocking development came 3 days after Jason's live stream, when an anonymous email began circulating among gossip journalists. Attached were what appeared to be sealed court documents involving a private family matter linked to Beyoncé Giselle Knowles Carter. No one could verify their authenticity, but the fact that they existed sent shockwaves through the industry. One document mentioned the word guardianship, another referenced a custody modification, and one, the most damning of all, referred to a paternity test. The authenticity was unclear, but it didn't matter. The damage was done. The story had evolved from rumor into full-blown scandal. "They're done hiding," Tasha K teased in another video. "This story is gonna come out piece by piece, and by the time we're done, you're gonna look at Beyoncé and Jay Z completely differently." By now, the Carter family was in lockdown mode. According to sources, they canceled several upcoming public appearances and cleared Beyoncé's schedule indefinitely. "She's devastated," one insider revealed. "She's barely eating, barely sleeping. She feels betrayed by Jason and even more betrayed by the people in her circle who let this leak happen." Jay Z, however, was in fight mode. He allegedly ordered a full-scale internal investigation into who might be leaking information and even considered hiring private investigators. "We built this legacy with blood, sweat, and tears," he told a close confidant. "I'm not letting a gossip blogger tear it down." But even Jay's usual confidence seemed shaken. As the days passed, more whispers emerged, whispers that a tell-all interview might be coming. Rumors swirled that Jason Lee had been offered a lucrative deal by a major network to tell his side of the story. If true, that interview could be the final blow. The Carters faced a nightmare scenario. Either Jason stayed quiet and speculation continued to spiral, or he spoke and the truth, whatever it was, came crashing down. Fans, meanwhile, were glued to their screens, dissecting every detail like detectives. Old interviews were rewatched for slip-ups. Photos from Beyoncé's pregnancies were analyzed frame by frame. And YouTubers capitalized on the frenzy, releasing hour-long breakdowns titled things like "The Carter Family Secret They Don't Want You to Know" and Jason Lee's Cryptic Clues Explained. By the end of the week, one thing was clear: the illusion of the Carters as an untouchable, perfect family had been shattered, and the question hanging over everything was no longer if the truth would come out but when. In a tense midnight meeting at their mansion, Beyoncé reportedly turned to Jay Z and asked the question neither of them wanted to say aloud: what happens if he tells the world? Jay looked at her for a long moment before replying. "Then we deal with it," he said quietly. "We've been through worse, but we fight this on our terms." The problem was, they weren't in control anymore. Tasha K had cracked the dam, Jason Lee had widened the hole, and now the floodwaters of public curiosity were rushing in. And somewhere out there, someone, maybe Jason, maybe another insider, held the piece of information that could blow the Carter dynasty wide open. If Jason Lee's livestream shook the Carter empire, the next chapter shattered it. Just 6 days after Tasha K's bombshell and Jason's reluctant admission, the story took a devastating turn, one that no amount of lawyers, NDAs, or Roc Nation money could stop. It started with an anonymous Reddit post in the early hours of a Tuesday morning. The user, whose account was barely 24 hours old, uploaded a series of blurred-out documents under the headline, "They paid him to stay quiet. Now you'll see why." Within minutes, screenshots flooded Twitter, TikTok, and celebrity gossip sites. The documents, though heavily redacted, appeared to reference a sealed family court case involving Beyoncé Giselle Knowles Carter and Sean Corey Carter, among the most damning phrases highlighted in the leak, and perhaps the most explosive detail of all: a date. The paperwork was from 2011, the very year Beyoncé announced her first pregnancy with Blue Ivy. The internet erupted into chaos. Hashtags like #CarterFiles, #DNADrama, and Beyoncé's secret dominated trending lists worldwide. News outlets scrambled to verify the documents, while blogs and gossip channels wasted no time spinning theories. The most viral headline came from a major tabloid: "Was Blue Ivy conceived through surrogacy? Shocking Carter court docs leak." Within hours, Beyoncé and Jay Z's pristine image, built on 2 decades of control, mystery, and perfection, was under siege. And this time, there was no denying it. Something had leaked, something real. Inside their mansion, the atmosphere was described as apocalyptic. Beyoncé reportedly screamed when she saw the leaks, throwing her phone across the room. "It's all falling apart," she cried, pacing back and forth. "They're going to destroy us." Jay Z tried to stay composed, but even he looked shaken. "We don't know if those documents are legit," he said, attempting to calm her. "They could be doctored. They could be fake." "They're not fake," Beyoncé snapped. "You and I both know what happened in 2011, and now the whole world knows too." That was the moment the fight they had both avoided for years finally resurfaced. According to insiders, Beyoncé and Jay Z got into a heated argument that lasted nearly an hour, with accusations, blame, and painful memories flying back and forth. "You told me this would never see the light of day," Beyoncé shouted, tears streaming down her face. "I did everything I could," Jay shot back. "I paid him. I locked it down. I kept us protected." "Protected?" She scoffed bitterly. "Look around you, Sean. Does this feel protected to you?" Meanwhile, Jason Lee found himself in the eye of the storm. His DMs were flooded with reporters offering 6-figure reasons for interviews. Some begged for confirmation of the document's authenticity. Others wanted him to reveal everything he knew. Jason, however, stayed cryptic. "Y'all haven't seen half of it yet," he tweeted, followed by a winking emoji. That one tweet sent fans into a frenzy. Was he teasing more leaks? Was he the source? Tasha K pounced on the opportunity, dropping another live stream titled "The Carter Cover-Up, Part 2. In it, she claimed the leaked documents were just the tip of the iceberg. "There's way more they're hiding," she declared, grinning. "What you're seeing is years of carefully buried secrets starting to bubble to the surface. And baby, trust me, it's about to boil over." Her most jaw-dropping claim? That a member of Beyoncé's inner circle was responsible for the leak. "This isn't some random Reddit troll," she teased. "This is someone close. Real close. Someone who's tired of protecting the lie. The speculation about the mole sent the internet spiraling again. Some fans pointed fingers at former Destiny's Child members. Others speculated it was a disgruntled former nanny or assistant. But one name trended above all others: Matthew Knowles, Bianca's own father, with whom she's had a complicated relationship for years. Wouldn't surprise me if Matthew spilled the tea, one fan wrote. He's been left out of the empire and probably wants revenge. Matthew quickly denied any involvement, calling the rumors ridiculous, but the damage was done. The idea that a betrayal had come from within only made the drama more irresistible. As the media storm grew, Bianca reportedly became reclusive. According to sources, she refused to leave the house and canceled multiple meetings, photo shoots, and studio sessions. She feels humiliated, one insider said. She built her brand on strength, mystery, and control. Now people are dissecting her most personal secrets. Jay Z, on the other hand, was in full fight mode. He allegedly held a secret meeting with Roc Nation execs and top lawyers, exploring options to track down the leaker and sue them into oblivion. I want names, he reportedly said. I want every email, every message traced. I don't care how much it costs. But the couple's united front began to fracture. Tensions between them were at an all-time high, and close friends whispered that they were barely speaking. It's like watching the strongest team in music crumble from the inside, one source admitted. They're snapping at each other. Bianca blames Jay for trusting Jason. Jay blames Bianca for not being honest from the beginning. It's ugly. And as if things couldn't get worse, a former Roc Nation employee came forward with explosive new allegations. In a tell-all interview with an online tabloid, the ex-staffer claimed they had been instructed to scrub any mention of a surrogacy arrangement from internal documents and correspondence in 2011. They were obsessed with the optics, the source alleged. The whole pregnancy was treated like a top-secret operation. Even people inside the company didn't know what was real and what wasn't. The Bayhive, once Bianca's fiercest line of defense, was now deeply divided. Some fans doubled down on their support, insisting Bianca's motherhood journey was nobody's business. Others felt betrayed. We worshipped her like a goddess, one longtime fan tweeted. But if she's been lying about something this big, it changes how you see her. Meanwhile, celebrities began weighing in. Cardi B tweeted, "It's always the ones who act perfect that got the craziest skeletons." Nicki Minaj posted a cryptic lyric from her song Secrets. Truth in the dark always finds its way to the light, even Solange. Bianca's sister posted then deleted a black screen with the words "Protect what matters." By now, the Carter empire was under siege from all sides. Media, fans, even peers. And the pressure was taking its toll. According to a close friend, Bianca confided that she was considering releasing a statement. She wants to tell her story in her own words before someone else does, the friend revealed. But Jay thinks going public will only make it worse. As the couple debated their next move, the internet waited with bated breath. Rumors swirled that a major news outlet had obtained even more damaging documents and was preparing to publish them within days. If true, the fallout could eclipse everything that had come before. And just when it seemed things couldn't get more chaotic, Jason Lee dropped one final bombshell on Instagram Live. With a sly smile and thousands watching, he said only this: "You think you know the story? Trust me, you don't. And when the truth comes out, the whole world's gonna look at them differently." The screen went black. The live stream ended, and the countdown to the Carter family's reckoning had officially begun. By the time the fourth week of the scandal rolled around, the situation had spiraled far beyond gossip. This wasn't just an internet rumor anymore, this was a global media frenzy, a cultural moment, and perhaps the most serious public crisis Bianca and Jay Z had ever faced. And the longer they stayed silent, the louder the noise became. Major networks were now running nightly segments dissecting the leaked documents and Jason Lee's cryptic hints. News anchors debated the ethics of celebrity privacy, while legal experts speculated on whether any laws had been broken in the alleged payoff. Even politicians were chiming in. One senator tweeted, "Money can't buy silence forever. Truth always wins." For Bianca, it was a nightmare she couldn't wake up from. Friends described her as broken and exhausted, often bursting into tears during late-night conversations. She's questioning everything, one insider revealed. Her image, her decisions, even her marriage. This has shaken her to her core. Jay Z, meanwhile, was trying to keep their empire afloat. But even his legendary composure was cracking. According to multiple sources, tensions between the couple reached a boiling point one night during a private argument that could be heard echoing through their Bel Air mansion. "You should have told the truth back then," Jay said sharply. "And destroy everything we worked for?" Beyoncé fired back. "I did what I had to do to protect this family." "Protect us?" Jay shot back, voice rising. "Now the whole world thinks we're liars. You call that protection?" The room fell silent, the weight of the truth hanging between them. It was the conversation they had avoided for over a decade, and now it was impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, Jason Lee was preparing for his next move. Rumors swirled that he had accepted a multi-million-dollar deal to sit down for an exclusive interview with a major network, and this time, he wasn't going to hold back. "Jason wants to tell everything," an industry insider claimed. "Names, dates, details, all of it. He's tired of being the fall guy, and he's ready to blow the lid off the Carter myth." The news sent Beyoncé's legal team into overdrive. They scrambled to issue cease and desist letters and warn networks of defamation consequences. But deep down, they knew it was a losing battle. If Jason had the evidence he claimed, lawsuits wouldn't stop him, they'd only amplify the story. And then, the moment everyone had been waiting for arrived. On a Sunday night, Jason Lee appeared on national television for a 2-hour interview that would change the Carter legacy forever. Dressed in a sharp black suit and speaking with deliberate calm, he began to lay out his truth. "I never wanted to be part of this story," Jason said. "But when someone offers you life-changing money to stay silent, you start asking why. And the why is bigger than anyone realizes." He described being approached by representatives of Jay Z's team in late 2020, shortly after hinting about a major baby scandal on his show. "They didn't threaten me," Jason explained. "They offered me a deal. I was told off the record that there were details about Beyoncé's pregnancies and the children that could confuse the public and hurt the family image." Jason then made the most explosive claim of the night, that one of the Carter children was born via a secret surrogacy arrangement that was deliberately concealed to protect Beyoncé's image as a powerful black mother. He emphasized that surrogacy is not scandalous, but that the cover-up was. "They wanted the world to believe a certain narrative," he said. "And I get it, image is everything in this business. But when you go that far to hide the truth, you create a bigger lie. And now that lie is unraveling." The interview broke the internet. Within minutes, millions were sharing clips and debating every word. Some fans defended Beyoncé, saying she had every right to keep her family matters private. Others felt betrayed, accusing her of building her brand on a falsehood. "She could have just been honest," one viral tweet read. "We would have loved her either way. But lying? That's different." Within hours of the broadcast, Beyoncé's team released an official statement, her first public words since the scandal began. It was brief but emotionally charged. "Our family's journey is our own." Like many women, Beyoncé has faced deeply personal decisions regarding motherhood. "These choices were made with love and for our children's well-being. We ask for understanding, privacy, and respect during this time." But instead of calming the storm, the statement poured gasoline on the fire. Critics called it evasive. Fans demanded clarity. "Just say if it's true or not," one comment read. "Stop dancing around it." Even celebrities began choosing sides. Lizzo tweeted, "Surrogacy is beautiful. Lying isn't." On the other side, Kelly Rowland posted, "Family isn't defined by how we come together, but by the love we share." Inside the Carter mansion, things had gone from tense to dire. A source close to the family revealed that Beyoncé considered stepping back from the spotlight indefinitely. She said she's tired, the insider shared. Tired of pretending, tired of fighting, tired of being picked apart. But Jay Z had a different plan. "We ride this storm out," he told their inner circle during a crisis meeting. "We've been counted out before. We don't break, we adapt." Yet, for all his confidence, the cracks were undeniable. Their streaming numbers dipped for the first time in years. Endorsement partners quietly reevaluated deals. And behind the scenes, even Roc Nation board members whispered about the reputational risk of the scandal. And then came the final, most shocking twist of all, one that nobody, not even Tasha K or Jason Lee, had anticipated. An anonymous whistleblower sent a series of emails to multiple media outlets claiming, They had proof of a child connected to Jay Z born before his marriage to Beyoncé, a child whose existence had allegedly been kept hidden through financial settlements and NDAs. The claim was unverified, but the timing was devastating. It shifted the conversation from Beyoncé's alleged surrogacy to the possibility of an entirely hidden family member. If that's true, one journalist tweeted, "This isn't just about image anymore. This is about a legacy built on secrets." For Beyoncé, it was the final straw. According to insiders, she collapsed into tears after hearing the news. "I can't do this anymore," she told Jay. "I don't even recognize our life." Jay tried to comfort her, but the damage was done. The fairy tale image, the untouchable power couple, the perfect family, the flawless legacy had been irreversibly stained. And even if none of the wilder rumors proved true, the mere possibility was enough to change public perception forever. Still, through the chaos, one truth emerged. Beyoncé and Jay Z were not invincible. They were human, messy, flawed, and vulnerable. And for the first time in decades, their throne didn't feel so secure. As the dust began to settle, one question lingered in the air. Was this the beginning of the end for the Carters? Or the painful rebirth of something more honest? The answer, for now, remains unknown. But one thing is certain: the world will never look at Beyoncé and Jay Z the same way again. And there you have it, one of the most shocking and humiliating scandals to ever rock the world of music royalty. From Tasha K's Bombshell livestream to Jason Lee's explosive admissions, from leaked court documents to whispers of secret children, the Carter empire has been dragged into a storm it may never fully escape. The story is far from over. There are still unanswered questions, unresolved tensions, and countless secrets that may yet come to light. Will Beyoncé address the surrogacy rumors directly? Will Jason Lee reveal even more in the coming weeks? And could there really be another child connected to Jay Z out there? One thing's for sure, the legacy of Beyoncé and Jay Z, once seen as untouchable, now hangs in the balance. And as more layers of truth peel back, fans, critics, and the entire music industry are watching closely to see how the Carters respond. But now we want to hear from you. Do you think Beyoncé and Jay Z went too far to protect their image? Was Jason Lee right to speak out after being paid to stay silent? And if more secrets come out, do you think the Carter empire can ever recover? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be reading them all. Don't forget to like this video if you want us to keep uncovering the truth behind the industry's biggest scandals. And of course, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Because trust me, this story is far from finished, and you won't want to miss what happens next.